The Turning is a ghost horror movie. The movie is about these two kids who had insanely wealthy parents, but the parents die, and the little girl doesn't leave the property, so they end up getting an at-home teacher for her, and that's our main character, a woman who basically is meant to live in this house with these kids and to teach this little girl. But as she's staying in this house, just a bunch of just strange things are happening that are freaking her out. There's a bunch of jump scares, and eventually she meets the boy who got kicked out of boarding school, and he is just a straight up ass to her. He does not like the teacher, and it seems like he's kind of going out of his way to piss her off, maybe to get rid of her. And as the movie progresses, you find out that the boy's riding instructor was not the best dude, and there was just malevolent shit happening with that guy, and he dies on the premises from a horse accident. And it seems like the spirit of that guy still lingers in this house and is actually still friends with the boy, and the spirit and the boy are just terrorizing this teacher. All the while, the teacher is just debating if she wants to stay or leave, but because she made this promise to the little girl not to leave, she is staying. And that's about the end of the movie without spoilers, so there will definitely be spoilers in the review. So my review to The Turning. So we're just going to get into one of the biggest spoilers of the movie, which is the very end. So if you don't want spoilers, just turn this off. So the end. If you've seen this movie, you're probably wondering what happened at the end, and I'm going to do my best to explain it. So basically, in the beginning of the movie, you meet the teacher's mom, and she clearly has something going on with her mentally. Fast forward, throughout the movie, the old lady is constantly saying things to like the teacher, like your fantasies or things like that. They're just like dismissible things, but they come back at the end. And then at the very end, when the teacher is sitting at the table and ends up getting the package from her mom with those nonsense pictures, the old lady says, hopefully you don't inherit what your mom has, because that would be a shame. So basically anything past that point was just all made up in the teacher's mind, as basically through the stress of just doing what she's doing, she mentally broke. Her mind snapped, and basically it kind of implies that no, there was no ghost. It was all made up shit in her head. And then at the end of the movie, when they escape, it fast forwards, well, rewinds, not fast forwards, back to that part where she's at the table and gets the letters. And then you're kind of like, what? It's because she just imagined that, and she's crazy. And then you hear the little girl and the little boy in the other room like, why is the teacher crazy? And stuff like that. So basically, the ending is implying that there were never no ghosts, there was never nothing. It's just this teacher turning crazy, hence the name The Turning is because it's all about the teacher going insane. And that's basically what I got from it. I didn't look it up or anything, that's just what I got from it. So, review-wise, the movie had some good productions. There was this one spot at like the very, very beginning with the eye and the transition that was like super good. I really like that, but that was like the only part in the beginning. This movie is basically just a jump scare movie where it's just tons of jump scares, and it's not a bad thing because you're kind of on your toes, like when's the next jump scare gonna come. So it definitely had like that anxiety, nervous, eerie feeling to it throughout the whole movie. The beginning of the end definitely had like the most jump scares, where like more focuses on the story in the middle. There were like no practical effects in this movie because that's not the type of movie this is. It's just meant to be like a jump scare movie. The Acting in this movie was pretty good, but hands down, the little girl just felt like she was the best actress. Her acting was definitely what carried this movie, definitely in the beginning. And with all those positives, unfortunately, the negative of the movie was at the end when they tried to execute the plot twist. Unfortunately, it was horribly done. They needed to add a little bit more context because it's just basically me interpreting what I think happened because they don't really explain nothing. So basically, the girl escapes with the kids, and then the second she escapes, it rewinds all the way back to when she was sitting at that table like it never happened. And they don't really explain anything, and that's like literally the end of the movie. You kind of just gotta put two and two together and figure it out yourself. And with that being said, my recommendation for The Turning. And I actually would recommend this movie as it had just the right amount of jump scares, and the acting wasn't bad, and the production wasn't bad. All in all, there's no reason not to recommend The Turning. It was pretty good. The only thing is that end is a little confusing, but hey, it's just, I like recommending movies that make you feel that uneasiness, and this is kind of what that movie was giving off the whole time.